on Lead Chess and Twitch. I'm your host, International Master William Pascal, based in Budapest, Hungary. Alright, let's pose this. Say something about this. This sucks. This tournament sucks. This tournament, no. This week's event is a 9-round Blitz. Join us. Join us, ladies and gents. Let's put the link key in there. Oops. Linky. Linky, Inky, Blinky, and Clyde. Alright. I miss Pac-Man. I miss the Budapest Pinball Museum and all the good stuff about not having to worry about the pandemic and social distancing. Anyway, here we are. Welcome to Reddit. No, this is not Reddit. This is Twitch. And we're streaming this tournament here on... Oh my god, what have I done? This tournament is not right. Oh my god, what have I done? It's right. 8 minutes. Alright, that freaks me out. Oh my god, that freaks me out. When the time reverts, I thought the tournament's gonna start in an hour. How does that... Why does that happen? It's weird. The tournament was saying, the tournament clock was saying 58 minutes till the tournament starts. Remember when I did that, when I set it for the wrong time and we had to restart a new tournament and Schieberspieler was leading a month ago? Be careful when you set your tournament. No going back after that. Skee ball. Yeah, there's no skee ball machines. But there are some cool stuff at the Pinball Museum. Some old machines. Skee ball. Alright, welcome Princess Chess, Astrobait. Let's see who's in the tournament here. Yevgeny Viktorovich, B. Maximus, Ninja Hator, Mahar, Game is on Sumaher, Tezik, and Astrobait. This is a 9-round Blitz Swiss tournament. Mr. Coffee subscribed to Tier 2. One of the few brave souls who's willing to go beyond the Call of Duty. Beyond Tier 1. Thank you to those who go beyond. Mr. Coffee, thanks also for being, of course, our primary mod here on the stream. Mr. Coffee's having fun at work right now. This quote is a bizarre quote. Whatever. Alright, they ran out of useful quotes. We got a Mike Lindell quote. Just kidding. Alright, Spassky will not be psyched out by Fischer. Whatever. Of course you won't be psyched out. There's no way to get psyched out when you know you have no chance. No, I mean, depends what match you're talking about. Alright, let's go. Who the heck is Mike Lindell? I mean, Mike Goodall. I know who Jane Goodall is. Who is Mike Goodall? Any clue? You have a backstory about Mike Goodall. Good, because I have no clue who Mike Goodall is. I know who Jane Goodall is. I know who Mike Lindell is, the My Pillow guy. But I'm completely drawing a blank on Mike Goodall. Anyway, we're starting in 6 minutes. Sparkle Horse Yevgeny B. Maximus. 9 players so far registered. Here's the link, guys. Jane Lindell. I can just mix up the names and mix and match. Copy. He worked with monkeys. Nope. He was Jane Goodall's brother? I don't know. Alright. Welcome everybody. We've got 10 players now. Enough for a 9-round tournament. ChessFan77 just subscribed at Tier 1. 2-month streak. Thank you, Mr. Coffee. Thank you, Chess Fan 777, for both of you for subscribing. Chess Fan 77, are you in the tournament? Everyone's welcome to play. With the Swiss tournaments, all the games start at the same time. We're starting in 5 minutes, the first round. The My Pawnda guy. He sells Pawndas. Oh my god, what if there was like a Republican snake oil salesman who sold plushies instead of pillows? Alright, Goiju. We'll play. Don't be afraid to play. We don't have enough players under 2,000. The fact of the matter is, the average player on Lichess is something around 1,400. I don't know, what do you think the average rating is? 1,400? We just don't have enough players under 2,000. This is a lopsided field. We have 6 players over 2,000 and only 5 under. The over-under. Brian's back, and he's a player under 2,000. So that's cool. No problem at all. Welcome, fellow Hungarian resident. Goodall was an international arbiter, recognized, certified by FIDE, the World Chess Federation. He was also director of the national tournament. Director of the national tournament for the Federation of the United States. What is a national tournament for the Federation of the United States? I think that's another way of saying he was a national tournament director. He was a good chess player. Before my time. He was too old for me to know him, in other words. Not famous enough and too old. Maybe if I was 10 years older, I would know of good old Mike Goodall. Alright. We're ready to get started here in 3 minutes. Random quote. Before my time. Spassky Fischer is before my time. Yeah, you need to be as old as Nick DeFermian to know who this guy was. Sorry, Nick. But you are a little older than me. Alright, 3 minutes. Basically, you have to be like 10 years older than Sladgie to know who the heck this quote person is. I would assume DeFermian is maybe slightly more than 10 years older than me. I don't know. Anyway. We're going to just talk fast today. Practice our speed talking. No. What's up, WJ? What's up, WJ? Alright, guys, seriously. 2 minutes till the tournament starts. I am trying to wake up with some coffee. WJ Lou for the Pride donation, 500. Thank you, WJ. WJ. 2 minutes till 10 days off. That's awesome. You should go on vacation. If only there wasn't a pandemic. But anyway, you could go on like a. You should go to the Virgin Islands or something. A lot of cool places you could probably go. Now, go on a vacation, WJ Loof. Sounds like 10 days off is the most you've ever had since you've been watching my stream, at least. Alright. 1:37. We're starting in 1 minute. Goiju. Oh, Goiju had to be accepted to the team. Yeah, you guys can send a request to join the team. I forget to mention that now. I just take it for granted. Vlad is tough. We have 12 players. This is kind of a typical starting number. Sometimes the tournament gets a little stronger, but some of the regulars aren't here. I don't see any Zen Chess, Aldisto. I don't know about where you are, but right now in Budapest we have beautiful spring weather, and things are opening up a little bit here with the legal restrictions. Curfew has been moved back to 11 p.m. We have outdoor beer gardens are open, so I think we're going to have a little bit, perhaps less people as some experience less limiting pandemic restrictions. But that's a good thing, I guess, if done correctly. Anyway, I'm still trapped in my house with no vaccination. Yesterday I registered again for the Hungarian website. to try to get vaccinated. We'll see what happens. All right. We're starting in 15 seconds. Ask me, with those quotes about my previous tournament results at the beginning of the stream, you made me sort of nostalgic for playing over the board chess again. Thanks to you, WJ Loof, and those two who subscribed, Mr. Coffee and 777. 777 was champagne when you played blackjack in the old days at Hungarian casinos. If you had 3 sevens, they would bring a bottle of champagne to the table for all the players. I don't think you get that in Las Vegas. But that's gone. Those days are gone. Game is on is not responding. We may have a bye in the first round. This is the one bad thing about the Swiss tournaments. Pre-registration means that people register and then don't show up, so we get like forfeit victories. Can I view the other boards while I'm playing this one somehow? I wish I could do that. Maybe I just have to open a new. Alright guys, just warn me. I guess just warn me if... Yeah, I have to open a new tab, but warn me if my game starts, because that's the real danger. Please warn me immediately if my game starts while I'm watching one of the other games. It's my concern. You are playing the game. Yeah, I know that. Sort of. Not really. Alright, here's Sumaher. B Maximus against Sumaher. Can you guys not have to switch windows? That's the other trick. Oh, that's actually... Wow, it's like the focus is going to the board automatically. That's neat. That didn't happen with Firefox. I didn't actually have to change windows for us to see what I'm looking at. Well, that's convenient. So this is B Maximus' pet line. Queen F3 against the Caro-Kann. And Sumaher, like myself, was a little paralyzed. This is maybe not the best line for black. But I don't know about E6. That's weird. I don't recall that. Maybe knight F6 is a good line. I don't remember this E6 when I looked at this. Whoa. Okay, so what just happened here? E6. He doesn't take, but I don't see it. It looks like a bluff. B Maximus is bluffing with this E6. Black needs to take it. Alright, now H3. The other option for white was knight F3 there. Is my game... My game is still not started? Alright. Balkoth. 5-5. Balkush. Whoa. B Maximus making a lot of queen moves here. But I mean, black's position with the king on F7 is kind of squishy. I don't trust black's game. But I don't think that either side has played perfectly here. So I'm going to get a forfeit victory most likely. Remember, if you do register for this tournament, that is something that is a problem. Remember not to register if you can't be here for the first round. But Sumaher basically screwed up right away. Like, this E6 isn't supposed to be a move, I don't think. White's supposed to just play D4, and I think he's slightly better. But E6, as far as I imagine, is just coffee house. Coffee house is another word for dubious sort of gambit, reckless, homemade variation. Something they play at the coffee house, chess level. As in not really tournament standard. Let's take a look at another game. Alright, let's see. Jern Vlad playing black against Brian. What is this? Caro-Kann thematic tournament? A Caro theme a lot? No, that's when I looked up that variation, it was not really a move, I don't think. It's a theme move, yeah, it's not just the Caro-Kann. In the advanced variation, but other openings too. The odds of 777s in blackjack with an 8 deck shoot is 1 in 2,420. Wow. I remember happening on a number of occasions. I guess I played a lot of blackjack. Or maybe we were just lucky. Or maybe they were rigging the decks just to get people excited. Get them drunk. Give away a few bottles of champagne. It's a good strategy. They're cheap in Las Vegas. I remember happening like at least 2 or 3 times at my table. Seemingly over a short period of time. It's always a good policy to give away free alcohol in the casino environment. Astrobate being from... Well, yeah, I don't know what they were using back in the day. This was like 20 years ago. I think the policy has been rescinded, but it was fun. Bishop G3. So what was this Caro-Kann? Ah, the 4 knights. With Bishop E2, though, Bishop E2 is a very unusual move. Most commonly H3. That's another Caro-Kann. Get over the Caro-Kann, people. Let's get something interesting going here for our first round. Anatoly Volovich. Astrobate, you got a forfeit. I got a forfeit. Wow, 3 forfeit victories. Half the field isn't here. Paolo got it by. That's 4. All 4 points are... What's this? Interesting. What is this opening? Guess the opening. Yeah, that's a tough one. What do you guess the opening was? A really weird London system? White fianchettoed? What happened to his bishop? Was this a bad London system? But I thought that Goju played e4. Yeah, it is. Oh no, it was a French with bishop e3. Very strange variation. He never got his pawn back. Ah. Oh wow. He got sandwiched. Gave up his white square bishop. I think there you should play queen e2 maybe. I'm not giving you my white square bishop in that position, Yevgeny. I would prefer to part with the dark square bishop. That's not so bad, right? Queen e2, knight e3, queen e3. I think the Goju gave you the wrong bishop. But anyway, the game remains the same. Am I going to get sued by Led Zeppelin? I have 0 copyright infringement strikes against me. Did you guys see where people, not just guys, the ladies are here too? Did anyone see where Twisted Sister sued this Australian billionaire for like $1 million on a copyright infringement suit and won? I'm not going to take it. That was cool to see. Donald Trump should get sued by like 10 different major record labels for his copyright infringement for using it like in his campaign rallies and stuff. It's ridiculous. Neil Young, how many acts did he like use without their permission at his idiotic campaign rallies? The Twisted Sister. All right. H3. A Power Pig. Uniform. You're not referring to my... What are you talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. Power Rangers. So Goiju... It's in one of the things that they yells. What's up, man? Goiju hanging in there against a very tough opponent here, but he's down a piece. Goiju's days are numbered. Got a request to join the team. Ricky226. Ricky, the only requirement is to not be a troll and have 100 games. You're in. Alright, 0 join requests. Back to tournament. So, 3 ongoing games. Goiju's still fighting. And we've got Brian Good still playing against Jern Vlad. Some good battles. Jern Vlad, heavy rating favorite here and a very tough opponent. Usually Brian's problem is the clock. I've noticed. Most frequently. Move 11, welcome. Move 11, one of the founders of the stream. 46 months. Is that all? Move 11 is only a 46-month subscriber. Practically as long as I've had subscribers. Basically 4 years. Move 11, did you subscribe when I started the first month having subscriptions? Do you remember? Probably, right? Is that the maximum? Astrobate, how many months are you a subscriber? It's sad that Astrobate's not a founder. It doesn't seem right. Oh no, Brian dropped a piece. He wasn't impressed the first month. Late to the party. Like my freshman year in college. I was still a little green. Alright. Let's go. Back to tournament. Goju's still playing. They're still playing. Alright, it's over. Round to 2 minutes. We've got... Sumahair B Maximus draw. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Stalemate draw. The battle of former Yugoslavia. Serbia versus Slovenia. Alright. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, Hungary is hosting the Metropa Club. Hungary is hosting the Metropa Cup. I can't say cup. I want to say club or something. It's like a Middle Europe club competition. Not club, but like team competition. Everybody was masking up. I don't know which teams are in the Metropa Cup, but it's being held in Budapest. 6 boards. Yeah, something like that. Probably Serbia and Slovenia would be in there. Usually. Okay. It's like a regional team competition. 23 seconds till the next round. I think like Austria, maybe. I don't know. Slovakia. I'm not sure exactly which teams. Maybe it varies from year to year. I'm not allowed to play in anything like that. I'm not a real... I'm an outsider. Acerbate, yes! I'm paired with Acerbate. Usually I only get to play Acerbate in like the last round. When he's a spoiler. Boom. Acerbate's pretty good against the Scandinavian if you play the normal version. We're going to play the 3 a.m. defense. Alright, I got to get me a beer. This is my troll opening. Acerbate getting materialistic. I really don't know if this move order is best. Maybe I should delay knight f5, play like g6. Would you believe me if I told you I analyzed this position today? With g6, delaying knight f5? That sounds like unbelievable. You'd be like, oh, you're making that up. You're pulling my leg. I think I looked at this. Well, man, I mean, if Dingleran can play like d4, knight f6, c4, g6, h4, then I think the 3 a.m. defense deserves serious consideration. Oh, this is my game with Savely Golubov. I must have inspired him to play weird openings in his adult life, because he plays some weird stuff. Were we gonna? Oh, you're serious questions? Are you're asking serious questions, Move 11? Are we going to see anything different in the opening for next World Championship? Acerbate with c5. TN. The TN, he doesn't want to go into any of that pawn takes pawn nonsense. Pawn takes, queen takes, pawn f7 check. That's my game with Golubov. Basically, Acerbate is transposing to an exchange French. This pawn extended on c5. We got to get Acerbate out of his comfort zone. I'm kind of trolling him. But I love playing this opening. I'm going to make a chessable course on the 3 a.m. defense. Seriously. It's got to be better than the Stafford Gambit. I think they're going to start playing this seriously. Move 11 at the highest levels. But what do you mean by the question, are we going to see anything different in the opening for next World Championship? Assuming WC means World Championship. It could mean World Cup, actually. Bishop e5 check. I could play Bishop d7, but this isn't such a bad... That's not such a bad bishop, is it? Badios. Video game reference from the 80s. Very old. Very old video game reference. Bishop d3. I'm scared. Acerbate. You're going to play queen c2, aren't you? That's his favorite battery. I'm like walking right into it. We'll have to weather the storm, I guess. Queen c2. I don't know, I'm kind of crazy today. Welcome everyone to the stream. So I had what was the name of that game? God. It'll come to me. Apple IIc. Circa 1980. 83? 82? What was the name of that? Early role-playing video game. Man, Astrobate is tough. He's getting more positional, actually. Move 11, this is starting to look like one of your Petrovs a little too much. I'm getting a little freaked out. This looks like one of Move 11's recent training games. However, White's pieces maybe not placed optimally to take maximum advantage. It's a Petrov. What is the name of this game? I'm trying to remember. Man, everything for 40 years ago is just whoop, like gone. What openings can we expect to see in the next World Championship? I don't know enough about the Pawnda. I think the Magnus, Magnus kind of tailors his openings from day to day. Ultima, Wizardry. Man, WJ, if you're a genius. Wizardry. Yeah, I mean, Ultima is much close. Slightly later. Great. Yeah, those are awesome old games. I still have them. I didn't sell my Apple IIc. It's in the storage unit. And I have all these old softwares. Couldn't dare to part with it. Astrobate, what's up with you today? Like an evil. Astrobate is evil. He's playing very positionally. I think he's watching too much Schieberspieler stream or something. Is it really from me? Are you getting this from me, Astrobate? Or, I mean, is there an outside influence that's changing your style? Because it feels like you're getting insanely positional lately. Wizardry was the best. That was the first game. First dungeon role-playing game for PC. And then Ultima came right after that. Yeah, WJ Luke, you know your stuff. I couldn't even remember what I was talking about. Nepo and Carlson worked together in a match or two. Latest chess championship trivia. When we could talk about video games. Move 11 wants to try to be serious. What am I going to do with him? Damn, Astrobate. So, you chose to put the knight on a3. And then a blunder. This is an uncharacteristic blunder from Astrobate. Astrobate, you've been hanging out with Sumamitra. We've got to intersperse some 400 moves with our otherwise 2100 play. But that's uncharacteristic. Usually Astrobate does not make unforced material errors. I have to say, he doesn't just hang pawns. Under normal circumstances, WJ Aloof actually played a lot of Wizardry. That's awesome. Yeah, the Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord. You have an incredible memory. And he has less time than usual. He's not playing as fast as usual. It is kind of creepy. Yeah, WJ, do you really remember that? That's amazing. That was one of my first video game loves. Probably very influential for the genre. Yeah, it's a very strategic based approach, as strange as that sounds. I fired up the wizardry a couple years ago on the old machine. It still works. I don't think sitting in the storage unit is going to do that machine a lot of good. Hopefully it doesn't get destroyed by dampness. Can't remember how I have it stored now. Alright, Aster, what are you doing now? You're coming at me. You're getting a little random. He's getting slightly random now. Sort of throwing everything at me but the kitchen sink. I don't know that one, WJ Loof. Basically like flailing Chinese stars at me now. Aspidus is randomly sacrificing all of his pieces. He's got this. He's always got that. Oh my god, man. All I want to do is trade the queens off here. But you're not going to let me. But what are you going to do after F4? I'll just trade. You know the famous saying, you can never get mated with a knight in F8. Oh. I'll play King F7. How's that? To make it fair? No. Alright, Aspate panicked. Oh, NES 86. I never had a Nintendo. I was very dedicated to the PC. Alright. So, wow. We had the longest game of the round against Asterbait. Jernvlad, Sparkle Horse, and Yevgeny. The Rocks. Swiss is too strong. 14 players, kind of a small field. We're going to have to branch out and attract more members. We'll have to have like a campaign and sell cookies or something. It'll be like vaccinations. We'll have to offer everyone $100 to get a vaccination. Sad. Sad if we have to do that. But I think also, like I said, the weather here, like in Hungary, is beautiful now. People don't want to be trapped inside. We've got Jernvlad, Sparkle Horse, Yevgeny all on 3. B Maximus, Brian. No, B Maximus is alone on 1.5. Brian got a win against Sumer. Minor upset. Asterbate, Tezek, Paolo all losing. Total of 14 players. Welcome everyone to the stream. I'm International Master William Pascal. This is my tournament, so enjoy it. Still not too late to get some more players in here. Has to be a creative approach with the C5 there. You just like playing C5 when people do the Scandinavian. But he turned it into a kind of positional battle. I'm sad that we have like 3 players who didn't show up though. Where are these guys? Where is everybody? I guess it's my fault. I really should send a message on Twitch. I didn't do that. Next week, I'm going to advertise the tournament a little more heavily. Can we play the Catalan against the Catalan guy? Outside, getting sunburns. Have you been to Disney World lately? Coach you're not close to Orlando, but they recently opened Disney World again. Oh yeah, Myst. That was classic. Your first video game. 93. Yeah, I remember Myst. We had it. But I don't think I played that until around 95. That's a great game. Still a classic. Advertise the prizes. I don't know. I have like nostalgia for Disney World. It was actually kind of cool when I was a little kid. It's probably even really ridiculously commercial now. I can see hating that. Yeah, it's easy to do. All right, knight f3. Yeah, in the 80s, like Disney was still kind of. It was commercialized, very, but not as absurdly as now. I'm going to develop my pieces. How about that? Most parents aren't as excited about going to Disney World. So what's Yevgeny doing? Bishop c5. What am I doing? Yevgeny plays really fast. Oh, don't get started. Good job playing. Don't get started. He's trying to, like, rush me. What? Lego World. Far less commercial than Disney. Alright, anyway. I don't get Yevgeny. I mean, he seems like a good player, but he's all speed here. It's a completely random position, and he still plays his moves, like, instantly. There's no way, like, there's a single game in the opening Explorer in this position. I guarantee it. He's, like, blitzing off moves. I guess that's the strategy. Try to beat me on time. It's bizarre. Instantaneous moves. Really weird. It's funny, he doesn't play e4. And he doesn't play, you know... So he's playing the c3 Sicilian with black here as a non-e4 player very quickly. Yeah, I never thought of Yevgeny as a fast player in the first times. Maybe he's just, like, changing. Now he's starting to use time a little bit. But it's this, like, principle that I like to adhere to, which is I try not to get a bad position. Take my time to use the time I need not to get a bad position. He's more willing to, like, play random moves to just move fast. I don't know. My last move, I was unhappy. I wanted to play bishop e2, but he has time for knight e6, and if queen e2, he pushes d4. And I'm kind of screwed there. Also, if I take on d5, he's just, like, taking with the f knight and then opening up bishop f6. I didn't really want to play rook d1. I think he left the board. to go get dinner or something like that. There's no way he thought this long on one move. If it is, yeah, this is bizarre. I think he got kicked out of his apartment by his landlord or something. What happened here? He's just gone. I don't think he smokes. Maybe. But not like Asterbait. Asterbait just like uses 5 minutes of his simul time. I've never noticed that with any of the other players. Could he have gotten disconnected and we don't realize it? Right? Totally possible. But Lichess recognizes if you're disconnected or not. Normally it does, and it offers you, like, you know, you can claim a victory if this player has been disconnected for whatever. Nah. There's the move that we expected. So, like, weird position. My queen doesn't have many good squares. I, like, literally have to go to d2. What? I'm sorry? So he could have destroyed my pawn structure with d takes c, and he instantaneously played knight e4 instead. That's a really unusual decision. No? All of you that think this is a weird decision, I think that's a weird decision. Knight e4. All in favor say aye. I think that's a strange decision. Bizarre. Where did he go for like 2 minutes during the game? That happened to me once against a guy in a tournament and I freaked out. I think he was cheating. He was just like loading his engine or something. Rarely would I ever be suspicious of that. But this one game was weird. So what do I do? Knight e1 here? Yuck. Man, he's really played this in a masterful way. Do you remember the game he played before with the space advantage that we were watching? He's got the space thing going. But I was really worried about bishop f6. It's not like deadly here, but he could have done it earlier. Doesn't seem like black should have a reasonable game with that weird knight c7, and hard to believe that black can get away with this setup he played. You always claim the victory. You never give mouse slips, I know. You never give takebacks either. Another surprising move now, c5. I mean, f3 is clearly a break. g4 if you're feeling ambitious. Yevgeny has the weird time use. I think he went to the bathroom during the game. That's the only explanation that makes any sense. He had to pee really bad. That's the worst thing about modern FIDE time controls, right? What happens if you have to go to the bathroom? But I guess that was a problem with analog. Well, you had more time controls with the old days, right? When there's no more time control and just increments now, you're screwed. Seriously, in modern tournaments, what do you do? When the time controls are done and you're just down to your 30-second increments, you just resign because you have to use the bathroom? There should be like timeouts or something you can call. Wow. This is unbelievable. I'm calling a timeout. He's even got the funky pawn sacks going on with knight d4. You just hung your b7 pawn? I bet he had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the game, or there was someone at the door. He didn't think for 2 minutes. He basically just gave me 2-minute time odds. Asterbate. Why was moving the king better than taking the pawn? He had a penetration on the 7th rank, so I thought I was pretty smart to do that. Paolo versus Asterbate. Oh, Paolo just lost. He lost himself a queen. Back to tournament. Yeah, I thought that was a good subtle move by me, WJ Loof. I'm suspicious. I use a lot of psychology in my play because of poker. When I would play online poker, I really tried to get inside the head of everybody. So I tried to do that in chess, and probably too much so, imagining stuff that's not there, but getting reads on people. The speed at which he played that move, where he sacked a pawn, was clearly not, so I can tell the difference between someone who dropped a pawn and who sacrificed it on purpose. He's good enough that you could see that pawn sack wasn't like he dropped it. He was intentionally sacrificing that pawn. And then you realize that you're like, okay, he's trying something tricky, so he's going to get a rook on the 7th. He says he actually dropped it. I'm not going to give you real credit anymore. I gave you too much credit. That's pretty hard to miss that, That's like walking in front of a car and saying, I didn't see it, Didn't see the car. It's like a huge bus coming right at you, and you walk right out in front of it. Alright. He was there the whole time? You might find, Ebrel Rick, you have a problem with tanking on certain moves. You can probably address that pretty easily. Because you're playing the rest of the game fast, and you're just massively tanking in one spot. That's probably a problem that's fairly, fixable. Alright. Sparkle Horse, B Maximus. Yeah, well, that's the saying. Long think, wrong think. What do you think about... What does everybody think? Let's have a discussion while we're watching the tournament here. Oh, no, not the C3 Sicilian again. Ugh. So I've got C3 Sicilian with both colors now. Are you kidding me? Gotta stop doing this to me, guys. Micro sleeping. So, a certain grandmaster posted on Facebook today trashing the classic Kotov book, Think Like a Grandmaster. And I understand that this has been trending for a long time, but it seems like oversimplified to oversimplify things to trash Kotov. Think like a grandmaster. I'm not, I think this is a popular belief, but I'm not ready to trash trees of analysis. What does everyone here think about this? Should we just trash Kotov? I mean, this guy has an agenda, and he's trying to sell his own work, and I'm not going to say who the Grandmaster is. He's got an agenda to sell his own material. He disagrees. I respect that. I've always kind of supported Kotov. I always thought trees of analysis is a reasonable approach. I think the mistake that people make is that there doesn't have to be one right approach. What doesn't work for you might work for someone else. He's saying that like Kotov is not workable, that it's unrealistic that people think in trees of analysis. Okay, fine, I don't agree completely. I think it's kind of, yeah, whatever. I just want to see what we get out there. Anyone who's actually read Kotov have any feelings about it? Feelings. I realize that it's a kind of rough and sometimes awkward recommendation, the trees of analysis theory, but I've always thought that people who didn't like it were just lazy, honestly. I guess it's going to be hard to recommend Kotov trees of analysis to people who like to watch YouTube videos, frankly. But I don't think we should just trash the classics. It's a little bit like cancel culture. Bit overdone. Alright, knight c4. Like, we can always say that the classics aren't as good as, because we have more technological means today. It doesn't mean that they were idiots. Kotov is an idiot. He didn't have a computer, Holmes. B6. I respectfully want to compromise somehow. What are we going to do? I want to say, like, yes, there may be other things that work, but at the same time, I wouldn't trash Kotov. It was one of the more famous chess books from the later half of the 20th century. Think like a grandmaster. I think an excellent book overall. Think like a grandmaster. A certain strong player who I know was trashing it on Facebook, but I thought that's kind of harsh. I can't completely agree. Respectfully understand if you don't like it, but to trash it to trash him as an idiot or something is absurd. All right. What are we doing? You're a traitor. Good old C3 Sicilian. Cooking rooks. I can't get used to your new handle. There's a lot of queens swinging around here. I was expecting him to play bishop a6, and then it's like queen h4. Speaking of trees of variations, right? It's hard to keep track of all the potential moves here. Well, I would say it like this. Honestly, like chess is a game where why is chess an awesome game? You know, I think because there is no one way to play it. There's a lot of room for individual creativity, individual styles. For me, that's the greatest thing about chess, really. There's more than one way to play. You can interpret it in different ways. It's hard to solve. I guess the truth is that there's more than one, way to learn the game, and you don't have to trash the other guy's approach necessarily. To have your own. Yeah. But just thought it would be an interesting topic of conversation. I admit that the trees of analysis are hard to work with. Especially for players, say, below 2,000. If you haven't mastered basic tactics, I was turning that into like one word. If you haven't mastered basic tactics or something, yeah, it's ridiculous to talk about Kotov and trees of analysis, I guess. If you're still on the fundamentals. Masticated. It's another word. Is this a good move? Master, masticated, asterbate, Maximus, Kotov, trees of analysis. Words. Look at my time. I have 35 seconds, Holmes. He just wants to make moves. You guys are good at making moves. They make moves faster than I make moves. The Kotov book is from the 70s. Who knows when it was like originally started? It was published, I guess, in the 70s. Publicated. This is what you get when the people play the C3 Sicilian, man. Masticating trees. Trees are masochists? Why do I have so little time compared to my opponent? How does he play chess without thinking? That's unbelievable. And good chess without thinking. It's pretty impressive. That's not my argument against Bullet is chess, without thinking isn't as fun. Thinking makes chess more fun. I'm undoubling his pawns. Counterintuitive play here. He's like, no, I don't want you to undouble my pawns. Absolutely not. I hate undoubling doubled pawns. It's deep, man. He seems to be gaining time still. Wow. He likes the bad structure. Yeah, man. Honestly, you have Carey's Practical Chess Endings, Trip Chance. That was my main endgame book. Very complete. But I mean, you know, the basics are there. You know, one example from page 323 is incorrect because it wasn't checked with computer analysis. Does that really matter in the grand scheme of things? Is it against rules to use a catheter in a tournament? Only on the Sabbath if you're Jewish or something. I don't know, man. It's a really, really weird question. Feels like a draw. You think I would be better here. How the heck do I make progress? Without letting him into e4? Can I play bishop a6? That just lets him in. This is a very strange game for me. White's play there with the pawns on the king's side, I think kind of unusual. Most people wouldn't do that. I like to see that position where I play f5, undoubling his pawns, and he doesn't trade on f5. I don't think too many GMs would do that. 99% of players would undouble these pawns here. And he lets me take on g4. Stockfish's knight f2 #1 move. Almost 100% of chess players would play pawn takes pawn here. Well, I mean, I still have a majority. I already have a majority. I mean, it's there. It's 4 against 3. I don't know. Maybe that's not the proper way to describe it. Or maybe that's not even relevant. You're making my h-pawn mobile. Yeah. But it's a very subtle point, you know, that you made split-second decision. I was winning, apparently. What? What did I miss? What? Why am I winning? Oh man, there's some computer variation? Why does it say I'm winning here? I don't understand. What's my win? Bishop h1 is winning? Damn it, I missed it, boys. I missed bishop h1 winning. I'm an idiot. How could I miss that? Like, I don't know if I would find that in a tournament game. I'm not even sure I understand what it does. So you're basically in Zugzwang. Oh, I know that hating on the Kota book isn't anything new. Yeah, totally. He made no inaccuracies, 3 blunders. Yeah, these are the 3 blunders. Interesting. Me too. So he made no inaccuracies the whole game until the 3 bishop h1 blunders. Interesting game. I just don't have time. I would have tried to win if I had not been in massive time pressure the whole time. My opponent is like 3 times as fast as me, which is pretty amazing. But not difficult. I'm tempted to go Ding Liren here with h4, but I don't know that variation. We'll just make this up. I can play f3, but I can't. I mean, I know that I played e4 knight h6 against Asterbate, but oh man, Vlad with the he's playing the Maxime Bacher Legrave move order or something. Wow, totally booked up. So if e4, knight e4, pawn e4, queen e4 check, king d2, like that's a variation, right? That's a variation. You want to do that? $64 square noob. We have been like kind of a little bit short of noobs lately. So you're welcome. But it may be too late to join the tournament. What round is this? Where is Link? I think he's somewhere trapped inside of a very old video game. 94 pawn e4, queen e4 check, king d2, excuse me. I said king e2. Devil dogs. That was my dad's favorite processed snack. Snack dessert. Those were dry, man. I don't understand those. They were just really, really dry. I don't know how he could eat them. Like the cake part was, I don't know how it passed the taste test. Twinkies are sickeningly sweet. Let's have a discussion on snack foods. So Jernvlad, up to date here with the anti-King's Indian Grunfeld theory. Mr. Move 11. Mr. Move 11 just gifted a tier 1 to the community. Thank you, Move 11. First gift sub for the week. Gifted a tier 1 sub to Dr. Chip Chance. Honestly, Coach, I never ate Twinkies either, but I have to admit that I think somewhere along the line I had one. They were never big in my family. Okay, so A6, the classic A6. Zebra cakes, ding dongs, ring dings. Was that another one? The great thing about being an American is, like, the great thing about our society was our introduction of 60 different types of pre-packaged snack foods. That's what we brought to the world, along with McDonald's. Aren't we proud now? Disney. All right, let's leave the snacks conversation for some other time. Yeah, no problem at all. It's like, whatever. I'm sorry. We're talking about packaged snack foods from the 80s. It's pretty unusual for Eastern European conversation to understand. It's impossible for you to understand what we're talking about. All right. It's good that you didn't have prepackaged snack foods. One thing I noticed when I moved, well, actually when I came to Hungary, no problem at all. What was amazing in the late 90s or in the mid 90s was how thin everyone was. You would walk down the street in Budapest when I came in 96, 97. There were no fat people. It was unbelievable. Like, as an American coming to Hungary, my first years here, it was insane. I mean, it's just unbelievable. There were literally no fat people. Like, maybe really old people occasionally, but it was such an amazing, like, it was like being in the Twilight Zone. I was like, what? You mean in the rest of the world, not like everyone is obese? It was unbelievable. And slowly watching it transfer, back over here, now everyone looks the same like they did in the US. White's obese. Black is playing like Fargo Shandor. He doesn't castle kingside. He did that against me in our last tournament game. Hungarian IM. He's like, he played literally the same sort of thing. Who doesn't castle kingside in the King's Indian? What are you going to do, castle queenside? I can understand delaying it for the first couple moves. Then it's like becoming like a obsession or something. No, the West influenced, the rest of the world to become obese. It was really unreal, though. I mean, people were poor, but they weren't like malnourished. They just weren't fat, you know? It was weird. There were just no obese people. Then we brought you Twinkies and Ding Dongs. So, alright, it's time to do something here. Bishop d7, h3. No, I mean, obesity in the U.S. has gotten a little bit better in some regions. Wealthy communities have combated it, you know, but in not so wealthy communities, there's a lot of disparity. Really, only in very wealthy communities is there a controlled amount of improvement in that respect. It's very much tied to economics. We're going to blast this player with f4 now. You really ought to castle kingside. I mean, what do you have against castling kingside? He thinks I'm going to attack him with like g4. He's afraid. Promise I won't play g4. Man, Astrobate, you live in Las Vegas, right? The home of the all-you-can-eat buffet. God, I miss it. Speaking of American things, man, I really miss all-you-can-eat buffets. Yeah, Texas, sure. I mean, you can. A lot of people are obese in wealthy communities as well. Where I lived on the East Coast, it seemed like people were getting not as obese in on the average. There's a lot more people exercising, but also you see it here in Hungary. 10 years ago, like, there was no one running, you know, to try to get healthy. Now, like, everybody is exercising more, much more conscious about that kind of stuff. So Zhernvlad is hanging on. Buffets. Yeah, that's the thing I love most. Not poker or casinos. I go to Vegas for the buffets. Not using metric system. They tried to teach us the metric system. I'll never forget that. It was like 2nd or 3rd grade. They really tried to institute the metric system briefly. Move 11 always with the play on words. Oh no. He's not listening to moderator. I was a little worried about knight b6, knight c4. Don't listen to your moderators. It's basically a 4 pawns attack, morph. Morph and Mindy. What do we do now? Passed pawn du jour. I thought New Jersey was the land of diners. WJ Loof. Does that go to Pennsylvania? You're just biased. Now you're a Pennsylvanian. You favor the Pennsylvania. It extends into Pennsylvania, yeah. I miss diners too. Whenever I watch like a TV show with diners, it makes me homesick. That's the hard part of being a New Jerseyan originally. living here. Seafood and diners. What do you miss most? And Vlad has very strange time management as well. He's not the only one with a strange times management. Ubot. Yeah, there's the automated moderators are the living dead. Man, he's got the weird time management. All right. Freaking me out. Something has to give here eventually. You can't just do that forever. It's unbelievable. The master of blockade. I started having hallucinations now that his G6 pawn wasn't protected by a pawn. Literally. That's crazy. He's the master of this. It's freaky. So this is a player who knows how to play with increment. A lot of people have no clue. He's like the increment master. Sick with increment. What? He played King E6. That's a crazy move. Man, that was like pulling teeth. Did you think about dentistry? Maybe. Alright, Dr. Trip Chance. Very strange game by Black. He's solid. What can you say? But I don't know. The King's India may not be your natural choice, Jern Vlad. Perhaps something like the Queen's Gambit declined. So Fallad accepted. I don't know about that delaying castling in a Samish King's Indian. That's pretty weird. Shawnee variation. No problem at all. Thanks for resubscribing. 16 months. It seems like you've been around even longer. It feels like No Problem at all has been subscribing to the stream for at least 2 years. It's weird. Well, Dr. Chip Chance, I agree with Matanovich, an early King's Indian book author. I think that actually it's like it's kind of a lie. Like, it's a lie to believe that like the King's Indian and the Benoni are different openings. They're basically the same opening. The Benoni and the King's Indian are not really different openings. You have to be able to play. Any King's Indian player has to be able to play variations of the Benoni within the King's Indian. This is a very commonly misconceived concept. They are the same thing, I would argue. Alright. This was something I was surprised when I was an amateur. Like, he classified variations of the Benoni within his book on the King's Indian. I thought that's interesting. And at the time, I thought that's not right. You know, the King's Indian and the Benoni, those are different openings. But if you look at it in a more philosophical way, you know, some people, probably old school, considered the Grunfeld part of the King's Indian. And I think a successful player, Vacher Legrave, for example, what I tell people is that if you want to play those openings well, right, you have to play all of them. You have to be able to play the Grunfeld, the Benoni, and the King's Indian. You can't just like play one. Okay, I mean, you'll be optimal. Brian, thank you for playing an open Sicilian. It's nice to not play the C3 Sicilian. But there seems to be a dearth of people who can play the Richter Rouser with white, which sucks, because that's the top, you know, Bishop G5, no one plays. It doesn't exist. I've played 20,000 games on Lichess and only like 3 Richter Rousers have I ever gotten. It's unbelievable. So, the Sozin I play myself with white, that goes back to my influence from the 80s too. Harding. This is Fischer Sozin. Well, I mean, you know, Coach A. Kramnik only played 1. What's that? Kramnik played the Grunfeld? It's obviously possible to play the Grunfeld. And not the other 2. But you're not really living life. You're a fake D4 fianchetto. I didn't realize that Kramnik played the Benoni. That's interesting. I would have thought the Grunfeld would have suited him maybe more. Okay, so Bishop E3. I think objectively the Grunfeld is probably the best of those 3 formations, let's call them. Did we play this before, Brian? Brian is well versed in his Sozin. We had a previous game. So A5. Speaking of Bobby Fischer, right? Back in the day. What? What? Wow. All right. I'm game. Quite the aggressive player there. Brian 1562. He's 1822 in classical, so longer time controls. He's stronger. He does get better at the longer time controls. Guys and girls and plants, whoever's out there, please accept my thanks for joining our stream and my tournament here. Tomorrow's Wednesday. We're going to be taking Blitz challenges in the morning, 11 a.m. CST. If you'd like to join us for some weird openings, it's a small but strong group here. We drink beer and play serious chess. Well, that's what I do anyway. You can learn something or not. It's up to you. So, technically, Brian's move order, there was something... Well, H3 is a bad move. I didn't really mention it. Forgot to mention that, about H3 being a bad move. We talk about serious stuff like Twinkies and ring dings. That's what my stream was built upon. He's gonna play Queen B6. Alright, if that's the way you're gonna be. Actually, I don't know what to do here. I mean, I think that black is better, but I don't know. E5, D5, none of the above. My brain is having trouble focusing. What? Defer me in? Beer is really important. It's not just beer, it's any kind of alcohol. But I try to keep it, you know, PG rated. So take offense to my statement. Everyone that I know, like amongst grandmasters, would probably agree with my previous statement. 90% of grandmasters would agree that the Grunfeld is. Coach Ott just likes creating controversy in a completely obvious. He just likes being a troublemaker. Everyone knows the King's Indian is unsound on some sort of positional level. The King's Indian and Benoni give the opponent too much space. You don't have to be like a nuclear physicist to understand that, you know. The Grunfeld also gives a center, but you have more influence. You're not just like giving them everything for free. The Benoni and the King's Indian are rolling the dice. You're look at it with an engine. I mean, it's obvious. Now that we have computer engines that can really accurately assess positions, statements like my previous one are pretty much like fact. It's not a question anymore. What's up, WJ Loof? Subscribe to Tier 1, 22 months. 22 months for WJ Loof. But I think, you know, it's strange. No Problem at All is only 16 months. Seems like No Problem at All goes back even further. But sometimes people have more than one account they've used on Twitch. Maybe it doesn't reflect it. So why is the King's Indian so popular if it's so disputable? I don't think it is so popular, actually, WJ Loof. I think the King's Indian's popularity has crashed. It's kind of like it was a market bubble, and it crashed around like 1995 or something. Maybe a little later, but Benoni's been crashed for a long time. Well, the thing is, it takes skill to exploit the weaknesses of those openings. It takes skill, and I've said this on my stream a lot. It takes an immense amount of skill to take advantage of the space advantage. You know, space requires an extremely space advantage play, let's call it. Requires excellent understanding of the game. Bishop A6. I think I have to calculate, which is always tough. Well, I'm keeping pieces on the board is a concept. Let's just say if you have to play against a computer, you probably don't want to play the King's Indian or the Benoni. It's like game over, man. You know, if Magnus Carlsen had to choose an opening for $1 million, and all he has to do is like draw the top chess engine in the world, the guy ain't picking the King's Indian. Like, that's for sure, man. 100%. Alright, I don't know. You need skills. Okay, I'm just slightly better here. Brian Good played well. He's positionally holding the d4 square. I probably missed a way to win a piece or something obvious. I feel like, but nah, guess not. How about bishop a6 now? Oh, good. He's even got traps with mate on h7? What? Guess we'll stick to the original plan. Got some Asterbane in him. The most... what? The most popular response to d4? Yeah, but all of those games were played like... If you did a search, WJLoof, like just in the last 20 years, it probably drops massively. If you searched since 1995, probably the Slav is the most popular defense against d4, like hands down. There's no way, you know. If you search between 1975 and 1995, probably the King's Indian would be number one. And then if you went after 95, I'm gonna bet it's the Slav. So, 6 rounds in the books. We've got B Maximus right behind us. He did cede a draw to let's see, yeah, that the stalemate in the first round. Dr. Tripchance enters the tournament. Good luck to his opponents. Vlad's still playing. Wait, we've got an epic matchup. Vlad has more time than Yevgeny. Whoa. Vlad. He's a dog against Yevgeny. But for me, like, they're both tough opponents. I think that Vlad is a little underrated. He should be 2100. For sure. WJLoof. I'm not saying the King's Indian isn't appropriate. It's just that at the highest levels, it's lost favor. Very much influenced by engine evaluations. But at some point I got sick of like giving people huge space advantages. That's great, you know, up to a point. Yevgeny's still firing here on all cylinders. Would you recommend the Slav versus d4? No, it's not for masters only. I mean, the great thing about the Slav is that it's very solid and correct. You're not ceding your opponent a space advantage, and moves are relatively easy to find because it's kind of a principled system where you're maintaining a strong point in the center. No, I think the Slav is naturally a good opening. I thought Vlad would play that earlier. Yevgeny's trying to steal this with slimy blitz play. Now, is it cooking rooks that's playing the a6 Slav? Kind of a little more abstract system. You know, I would stick to maybe the main line type of variations, but wow, Yevgeny is really showing his class here with technique. Tricky ending where Yevgeny should be losing. Nice blockading plan by Vlad, finding queen d3 if he finds it. The question is, will Vlad like panic because of the time pressure? Not yet. The exchange Slav. Yeah, but I mean, there's that kind of thing in every opening. The exchange King's Indian is the same as the exchange Slav, like boredom, city. Of course, you know, that's why I don't play. That's why I didn't play the Mar del Plata. One of the main reasons why I never played the Mar del Plata was because, like, people can play for a draw by playing the exchange variation. I had IMs do that against me. Actually, Jay was one of them. Jay Bonin played the exchange variation against my King's Indian. Obviously, the result was a draw. The other person was Georgi Orlov, I think. Another IM. I mean, but you can avoid that. Blunderiferous. Look, Ma, no checks. Wow, Yevgeny getting taken down by Zhernvlad. Very good game, guys. Exciting battle. So that is done. Another round in the books. 6 rounds in the books. We've got 3 rounds to go. Thanks everybody for playing. Oh, Butcher 1984 is here. Who, I hope I don't have to play him. Who was the victim of the Butcher? Alright. I've already played B Maximus, Zhernvlad, Yevgeny. This doesn't look good. Thank you, J-Loof. Are you leaving us? We need more players, actually. I'm going to advertise this tournament harder next week. I was a little lax. I didn't put a notice out on... Oh no, it's okay. You can leave if you want to. I'm not trying to guilt you into staying. I just... On a separate note, we don't have that many players. Don't feel guilted into playing. That's not my point. I just was commenting on the fact that there were less players this week. We need as many players as we can get. It's nice to see the Butcher back. He's a strong player. B Maximus. But it's not just strong players. I mean, I want lower rated guys to join too. Peoples. Yeah, Coach I, you've never joined us. Hopefully Mr. Coffee can play. He can't sneak in some games while you're working from home, right? Mr. Coffee, there's no excuse for not sneaking in games while working from home. Well, there are excuses, but they're not good. You know, at the office, you could always be like, well, they won't, that won't fly, we're, playing chess. But there's no excuse now. You don't want to put it on the line. Dr. T. Mrs. T's Pierogies. The Modern Defense Reloaded. Yeah, you like being a spectator, Coach Ah. You're a professional. Professional spectator. I don't think I've played this line against Dr. T. Maybe I did. I can't remember. This is my first game in this line against Sultan Medved. I played back in 1997. I lost. No, it was a draw. We were both candidates for IM title. Now Zoli's a GM for years. There's a funny move here, Knight C4. Have you looked at that? Brian Smith had an interesting game. Or maybe it wasn't Brian. Well, no, Brian did, and I think we saw someone else play it. I don't remember. Don't play funny moves. Well, I don't remember my game with Zoli. It was too many years ago. Not too many people play this line for black. It's a bit of a strange choice for Dr. Chipchance. I think it's a bad choice, actually. For your style, Dr. Chipchance, this is the wrong line to play. You're getting stronger and stronger. He's now 2300. Yeah, I think you should keep the queens on the board. With your tactical style, it doesn't make sense to trade queens. I'm trying to remember how I'm supposed to play this. I guess I have to play bishop e3. It makes sense to blockade this. What would Nimzovich do? I think maybe Nimzovich would have a chance against Dr. Tripchance. Better than me, anyway. Getting stronger. But I don't know the theory. I played one game with black, and I wasn't real excited. I groveled for a draw, I think, against Oli 24 years ago. That game's not fresh in my mind. But basically after that experience, I was like, well, yeah, I'd rather not grovel for a draw with black if I don't have to. Anyone going to Philly? WJ Loof, you've never participated in a live chess tournament, right? It's like Billy Joel. Yeah. So, it's a position. Correct? Mr. Coffee is having a bit of trepidation about going to large tournaments. Large vocabulary words. I like trepidation. It's a good one. Excellent. It's a 5, 10, 11 letter word. Very rare here on Twitch. You don't get words like that in the Amaranth stream, right? I don't know. I'm going to get a hot tub. Dude, chess coach Andrash was streaming earlier on chess.com. I don't watch that, but he's a guy who I know. He was making... He had some kind of stream title, like hot tub chess. I don't know if he's like mocking the concept or if he really does that. That's kind of weird. WJ Loof, I'd like to go with you, but not for for $350. No, I mean that's Joe cooking rooks. Cool, I appreciate it. Yeah, good joke. Yeah, hot tub chess. Appreciate that. It's a good one. We played years ago. 1997. Actually, maybe in the same tournament where I played Zoltan. Of this variation. Medved Zoltan and Tot Andrash were both in the same IM tournament with me in 1997. In October. I'm pretty sure. Very possible. They were both young. The writing is on the wall. Coincidentally, both Hungarian. Very coincidental, isn't it? Highly coincidental. Suspicious, even. What would they be doing here in Budapest if they're Hungarian? Andras came on my stream. Not on my stream, but we played some Blitz games while I was streaming before. Not recently. Long time ago. No, I think that Zoli lives in Hungary. Andras is in Australia. No, you're thinking of someone else. I'm not talking about chess dweeb. I'm talking about Medved Zoli. You're talking about Boros Danesh, the chess dweeb. This is like both sides played a perfect game. It's a perfect game. I'm just gonna offer a draw. I haven't beaten him in a few years. We can see the stats. Perfect game by both sides. No inaccuracies for either side. I made a blunder. What? There must have been some tactic. What? What tactic could be? I had rook d5, winning a pawn. Oh my god. It looks like he would get my b2, my g2. I don't get it. How does this win a pawn? There must be something deeper, like bishop e7 here. I didn't see this at all. How does that work? Rook d5, bishop e7. Rook d7? That's an oopsie. Oh well. Yep. You made a blunder and a mistake. I made 3 inaccuracies and a mistake. Which is worse? The problem is you're too fast, you know. I'm just like freaking out about the time all the time. I don't know. You put too much pressure on the clock. If I had time to think, I would find it maybe, but I'm constantly worried about my time. He has 1 minute and 40 seconds more than me. I got a challenge here from Crouton, but we're not taking individual challenges. Yeah, but I think that opening is a bad choice for you, Dr. Tripchance. Maybe against a higher rated player exclusively, but you should play a different line. You have very little winning chances there. You have to switch variations. B Maximus caught me with a win over Paolo. Jernvlad's still playing. B Maximus is going to have to pay the price. Hopefully, play the Butcher or play Dr. Tripchance. He got a 1300 this round. Jern is tough. Man, he's putting pressure on Butcher. He is. What is happening here? Maybe Butcher's going to hold? No. Butcher's in trouble. Yeah, Butcher played too fast. Yeah, he just came on and he's probably not playing increments. But Jernvlad is underrated, man. He's no 2000. He's got to be at least 2100, and that would be a little low. He already beat Yevgeny 200 points higher. And he's played some really tough games against me. He's like a rock. So Butcher's in trouble. He can't play spoiler if he loses. But actually anybody could be a spoiler here. Sumer dropped out, unfortunately. Asterbait is up. Where is Asterbait? Brian Asterbait. Asterbait's missing some stuff here. Asterbait's openings with black are a little sketch. Hyper Accelerated Dragon. Similar variation with knight d5. What happened? And Brian played c4, which is not theory. What is c4? That's like never played. Variation. Knight to... So the question is, do you go knight b4, knight c7, or knight b6? Astrobate has a tough decision. Used to play this? Yeah, no. These are the moves. Queen e4. It's either queen e4 or queen b3. Both of which are very interesting. And difficult to say which one is better. But c4 is not a normal move. Well, queen e4, there's a lot of ideas. Not necessarily just c4, b maximus. There's a lot of interesting stuff. I find these variations to be very confusing because there's all different lines that kind of are similar, but not quite the same. So it's difficult to remember. Crouton joining the team. Take one for the team, Crouton. Crouton. All right. I'm a very American. Sometimes I get my American accent really hard. Crouton. B Maximus tied with me with 6. Vlad with 5. Brian Goudet. It's good to know you. Trip Chance graciously giving me a chance to win, but I missed it. And Yevgeny dropped out after a bad night. Astrobate going to finish in the top 10 tonight, I have a feeling. Goiju got a bye. Butcher took a painful loss. That's bad because now Butcher can't butcher one of my rivals. So I'm playing Paolo. We had a very small amount of players today. We're gonna have to advertise. I might have to institute some sort of prizes or something. It was never meant to be a commercial tournament, but we've got to at least get the team out here. What am I gonna have to do? I did stop, we don't have the team battles, and I think that's causing disruption in the team cohesion. But queen d2 is a bad move. You're supposed to play e3. You got to keep your center intact here. You got you a bye. Alright, so if I take queen takes, knight c6, queen d5, that's not good. But it's like a whole tempo for white. That has to be bad. Bishop e6. Would Salo Floor approve? I don't know. Basically, is it a transposition to a Chigorin? Yeah, that's Mihawk's dad did that against me. Move 11. Mihawk the First took him out in the Hungarian Team Championship. No, Budapesti Team Championship. Mihawk Sr. played the Queen h5. Queen h5 Verisov. We had an interesting game. Killed him in an ending. 2 bishops. Okay. There was this one. There's like a team. It's like the tax team or something. I always play well against the Hungarian Tax Bureau. It's kind of funny. I don't know why that is, but every time I have a match at that location, I like kill whoever their player is. H3 is a good move by white. I'm a little bit unhappy about that. I don't think I like H3, honestly. I don't think I like you anymore. That's not a nice thing to do. We're going to have to take special measures for Paolo. Paolo using no time. With this very nasty G4 idea. See? Now that Donald Trump isn't president, I can say nasty again. There was all these words I had to like erase from my vocabulary because of Donald Trump. Now we can start using them again. Just the word Trump, for example. had to be erased. Kofefe. What are we going to do now, Mr. Coffee? Knight g4? That's b4, sorry. Paolo is not nice. Wants to hurt me. It's not friendly to want to play g4. Who is Paolo anyway? But it was, you know, Trump used to be a normal word. You could use it for stuff. And then, like, I had to erase it. King b1. What do you want to play? b5, knight b4. Knight b4 is rubbish. I need a plan. I guess there's nothing to do, and we just have to go with it. But he's going to blast me. We'll have to play on instinct. Where's my attack? 1374. Actually, we've never played before. Wow. I can't believe he did that. So, I mean, g4 is super dangerous. That's the right idea, but he was scared of black's threats. So he's offering a trade of queens. But I think it's a bad decision. Your best chance here... Your best chance here is to try to attack, I think. Objectively. And I love trading queens. Still, not such an easy position. Maybe I'm going to lose to this guy. Asterbate, did you lose to him or beat him? It's not such an easy position. Yeah, he found it g4. Wow. Wow. It's a nice find. I guess after I've talked about it, it's not as hard to find it. I suspect that Paolo might be another player who's played on the stream with other accounts. I don't know. Reminds me of someone else. Very much so. Brother Paolo. The name of the rose. Dude, you're like psycho aggressive 1300. Where is this coming from? I'm almost getting mated, and he's 1374. That's scary. Almost getting mated and almost losing on time. He's very interested in... Yeah, he can't be 1374. There's no way, man. I don't believe it. You couldn't be 1374. You'd have to make, like, tactical blunders. Some sort of tactical blunders. He's not making any blunders at all. So far, he's like 2,000. I mean, at least. That's super sus. He's 2,000. He's not used a minute. And he's at move 25 against an IM with 1374 without making any mistakes. That's messed up. Whatever, dude. That's not nice. Yeah, this guy has got to be cheating or something. I mean, how can he be 1374? I hate to say it, but I'm sorry. That's just not cool. You can't be 1374, play the whole game in 1 minute, and not make any inaccuracies when you're 1300. Well, he doesn't cheat against you, Asterbate, but he might against me. There's no, there's no reason to do that. But people start doing weird stuff when they play a higher rated player. They're like, oh, I really want to impress my friends by beating this guy. He's way too good to be 1300. I mean, that's absurd. If you combine the level of play and the speed with which he's playing, it's already around 2,000 minimum. How could you possibly be 1,300 and be this good? You play him every week. Alright. Finally a blunder. Well, if he's 1,300, he's going to be like 1,900 next week. Because if he just took a little bit of time, he would already like have a draw, I guess, against me. I don't understand. It must be like a kid, but he's gonna be like 2,000 next week at this rate. It reminds me of this what's that account? The name I can't say. And now he's melting into 1,300 land. What? This is like, I don't know, it moved 25, I was slightly worse. Yeah, if he plays g4 instead of knight b5, I assume I add something there, man. I was going to sack a pawn. Check this game out. No. I was sacking a pawn, man. Definitely. You got to admit, he misplayed the opening, but then this h3 was absolutely the right idea. So if g4 here, I don't know, man. I'm afraid he's got some pressure. I had the feeling there might be something for black if I'm really brave here, but I don't like taking in. I was gonna sack a pawn with f4. I'm just like rolling the dice. What's the computer say? Yep. I was right. I have to find f4 or I'm busted. No, I was prepared to play f4. That was the whole plan. But it's very close. The computer says he was actually winning at one point. Wow. So at move 20, he's winning with knight c7. I didn't even see it. Whoa. So I just hung my e6. I mean, if he had taken his time to achieve this position, I wouldn't be suspicious, honestly. But if he can achieve a winning position against the title player and he's rated 1,300 and he only used like 50 seconds for the whole game, I mean, that's kind of, that's a little bit weird. Cooking Rooks, you'd like to join us. The combination of super fast and getting a winning position without making a lot of mistakes is sus. Anyway, whatever. In case you can't guess it, I don't trust anybody here on the internet chess world. Hey, that's a good name for an internet chess site. The internet chess world. Sounds like another chess site that sort of died. Can't remember its name now. Internet chess world? Better name. But anyways. Let's get back to the tournament. World Chess Internet? Internet Chess Place. B Maximus is still playing. Brian. What is going on here? Oh. That's like B Maximus's other game against me. Very similar to his game against me. He specializes in bad bishop positions that you can't win. Here we go again. Exactly the same. Tricky ending. Whoa. Have you calculated your king and pawn in game lately? I'm seeing double queens. That's all zeros. Look, nobody queens with check. That's gotta be a draw. It's all rook pawns and a queen endgame. Oh man, Maximus. Maximus is gonna play like a machine here and get that H pawn and then torture him in the ending. That's a theoretical draw. But good luck, like, here, whatever. You know, it's not easy with no time. He tricked Brian. Brian tricked him. Maximus hung his queen and resigned on a Dlugi Blitz trick. Dlugi would do it with a rook normally. That's kind of brazen to sack your queen. But yeah, I would normally reserve this only for rook tricks. I don't think he did it on purpose. It was actually a blunder. Brian hung his queen. I know Black resigned because... Wait, Black resigned? What? I know Black resigned. Oh, Black resigned. Black hung his queen. White missed it and Black resigned thinking he hung his queen. He probably resigned before, you know, he realized. Always make sure they didn't hang their own queen. Premature resignation. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That sucks, man. Brian, you cost me the tournament. Dude, you just resigned away my tournament victory. I'll never forgive you. No big deal, you know, just first place in this. It's alright, I'm used to shifts in fortune. Being an online poker player for so many years. Taken the odd bad beat here and there. And you blundered alright. Which blunder are we talking about? The blunder or the resignation? You blundered twice on one move. Which is not easy to do. 2 blunders with one move. And I get the butcher in the last round. Are you even kidding me? I get the butcher in the last round. Brian resigned. A winning position against my rival. That's sick. I get the only conceivably really dangerous opponent. And I should have been a point ahead. It's hard to come back from that, man. It's really hard to come back from that. Psychologically. Ooh. I never had a really good system against the Queen's Gambit Accepted, honestly. Not enough people play it that I was ever really that concerned. It's never been a popular defense. It still isn't, really. What is that? Why is there a weird red spot on my screen? It was bizarre. Brian will never forgive you. So, but anyway, it is what it is. White can equalize with d5. Alright, I'm playing more IQP positions lately, so maybe. Frankly, I haven't played this line in a very long time. B Maximus 1 says, I know why weird moves confuse me. Dude, everybody hangs their queen like that when the opponent makes some kind of insanely unexpected move that drops a queen. The most natural thing to do is to like lose your queen there, honestly. Very normal. Why am I doing this? Bishop takes d5. I don't know, I had a weird instinct to do this. It's nothing. Honestly, I'm just hungry. Are we having Weird Wednesday tomorrow? We're always having Weird Wednesday. No more master analysis. That's too intelligent for most people. We can't do that anymore on this channel. We try to keep things like stupid and dumbed down for everybody. I wouldn't want to analyze like famous master games anymore on the stream. Not interesting enough. So yeah, we try to keep it simple. Chess was canceled due to lack of interest. Now I'm doing video games and hot tubs. I lost my motivation, man. After that last game result and this pairing against the Butcher. Just his name scares me. I suddenly realized I was hungry too, which is bad. This is the last round. I'm gonna just give the tournament to... I'll change the category, absolutely. Just chatting. Good idea, Mr. Coffee. That'll probably increase viewership, like, massively. I'll probably have, like, 10 more viewers. It's never been my goal to be a successful chess streamer. I just did it because I like to do it, you know? What a lot of people don't get. They're like, oh, why don't you do this and this? Because I like doing what I do. I didn't set out to be somebody who has thousands of viewers. Botez, right, was never doing chess from the beginning. Or am I mistaken? It's all relative. I'm a beginner next to Magnus Carlsen. Practically. Although I did give him a good game. Maybe I'm a little hard on myself. There was drama about it too? Wait, what? No problem at all. What's that? Drama? About changing? Wait. There's what drama could there be? Well, I know there's been drama in the chess soap opera world, but like nothing specifically about that, right? Like, what's that? Oh, drama? Really? For changing category? I was talking about the... Okay, I'm still on Eric Hansen land. I thought we were talking about other dramas from the past. I don't keep up on my chess. Trip Chance blundered? Are you kidding me? He never blunders. He must want me to lose. It's a conspiracy. So Lock3SS just subscribed to Tier 1, even without me changing my stream category to just chatting. Somebody will mind if I change my stream category. There won't be any drama, right? You guys aren't going to care. It won't hurt your feelings if I change my stream category to just chatting. No one will be insulted by that, is what I'm saying. Wow, I'm going to blunder here. Blundiferous. Does the lead chess posting get affected by that? Nah, no. Absolutely not. I really doubt it. But I don't think I'm at the point where I don't think like it matters anymore for my stream numbers if I even have lead chess in the title. It seems like the same people watch my stream. We've got a few new viewers. Whatever. I have nothing here. He's playing for the win. He declined to draw. Position not justified, but on time. It's fair to decline a draw here. He has more time. I'm not insulted. Your prerogative, senor. It's a draw. It should be a draw. I do have f4 at some point, actually. Driving his knight off of e5. That's what you do when you offer a draw to somebody, like in a tournament game, and they decline, and then like later they offer you a draw. You always have to like sit there and like make them think that you don't want it. There's no way I can win. I didn't play a good game. It was a bad opening. Maybe the opening wasn't so bad, but I quickly made a mistake with bishop takes d5, which was stupid. In an already equal position. The computer says I have a large advantage. Wow. What? Oh my god, it actually worked. Holy crap, another tactic I missed. That's hilarious. I finished the game and I'm like, oh, bishop d5 was a mistake. It actually is a mistake. He played the wrong move immediately. He should have played ed5. It's just like my game with Dr. Tripchance. I had a winning move in one moment and I didn't see it. I looked at this, I swear to God, and I didn't see anything here. What is this? Wow. So I thought this was good. Now knight d7 is simple. I win the exchange. I was staring at the position for a while. I literally sat there. How much time did I spend on this move? At least like 25 seconds. Watch this. Bishop takes d5, I spent 10 seconds. Black played knight takes, and now watch. Okay, just 12, 13 seconds. Only 13 seconds on bishop e7. But it was a long 13 seconds. I was looking at knight takes d5. So he has to play this. He's losing the exchange in every variation. Except for computer line, rook e8. What? So he's just lost in one move. It's crazy. Exactly the same game as Tripchance. I have a one move win and I don't see it. Anyway, it was a draw. So, exciting chess. B Maximus. With 8 points, he defeated Tripchance. That's unbelievable. How did you beat him? I can't beat him. Oh, you play the Caro-Kann yourself? Did you tell me that before? That's funny. You play Queen F3 against the Caro-Kann and you play the Caro-Kann yourself? That's kind of demented. That's like playing the Smith Mora against the Sicilian when you're like a Najdorf player. That's pretty messed up. You can't believe, like, you play the Caro-Kann and you really play Queen F3? What kind of, like, self-respecting Najdorf player would play the Smith-Mora Gambit with white? You'd have to have, like, multiple personalities. Dr. Tripp played knight g3. It's frustrating. I understand. You don't want to trade pieces. Yeah, we had a training... No, I had a lesson with one of my students who faced this in a game, and it was like a candidate master played it against him. It's a garbage move, but if black doesn't know what they're doing, it's a good idea. It's like a practical decision to play knight g3. h5 may be the best move. I mean, that's what we probably decided. It's not the only move, though. g6 is also. Karpov Larson. When I say garbage, I mean, okay. It's just not great. Karpov actually played it. They didn't have computers back then. You know your stuff. Well, Dr. Chipchance here revealed a novelty with c5. This is like number 2 move according to Stockfish 13. Nice. I'm sorry, B Maximus, not Dr. Chipchance, who's white. This is a theoretical novelty as far as the opening explorer. You pronounce my name correctly, but the E is silent. Brian Good. Like, it's like a cheese. Gouda. You're Belgian. You come from good Belgian stock. No, it's that French colonization. We talked about that before. The French colonization of North America. There's a lot of leftovers. Upstate New York, Montreal, New Orleans. There's still some remnants of the French colonization. Oh, it actually comes from Dutch, not Belgian. I thought it was French. That's confusing. The confusing thing about Belgium, right? So this was a crazy game. H5, H4, C5, knight F3. What happened? See, this is the problem for white. Oh, he just hung a piece. Damn, that's brutal. Dr. Tripchance with the blunder. B Maximus with 11 cent upon loss. Short game. Alright, congratulations to B Maximus winning the tournament with 8 out of 9. Thanks to Brian and the longest fork. Between Dr. Tripchance and B Maximus, I have to kiss my chances for first place goodbye. Sometimes fate is outside your hands. Of course, I could have won the tournament. I would have lost on tiebreak anyway, maybe. I don't know. Alright, Jernvlad is third. So B Maximus 8, I got 7.5. Jernvlad with 6. Nice job with a bye in the last round. Who gets a bye in the last round to finish third on the podium? That's just illegal. Tripchance with 5. That's why we need more players for next week. Tripchance with 5. Brian Good with 5. Good. Butcher with 4. Goiju with 4. Asterbait with 4. I want to play some golf. Yevgeny with 3. Sumaher left early with 1.5. We had a total of 14 players. Sorry, 16 players. A little bit of a small field today, guys, but very friendly. Thanks, everybody, for playing. We will try to advertise a little bit more next week with Secret Santa prizes. I don't know. I will at least get the word out. I should have sent a Twitch alert about this tournament, but this is our smallest field in a while. So I'll have to be on top of it next week. A little bit more turnout, hopefully. Enjoy the pandemic, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow morning here at 11 a.m. CEST. Have a great night. Thanks, Mr. Coffee, for being our moderator. I love you all. Goodbye. Bye-bye.